The Real Genesis. Ex nihilo, the real book of Genesis. First, as ever and always, nothing made the heavens and the earth, since there was nothing to make it of. Technically, nothing made the teeny-tiny secondary elementals as opposite pairs before their subsequent combinations, which then went on to form higher complexities, even us. The earth was once without form, and void zilch, and darkness was upon the face of the deep, and the spirit of nothing was moving over the face of the waters.
Hey, what waters? Water came later, no waters.
And not a thing said, "Let there be light," and there were photons, and a big electric bill too. And then as well came forth electrons, quarks, and their antiparticles of opposite matter in charge, ever still summing to the something zero balance of nothing. Okay, now we're cooking. And nullity saw that the light was good, and nil separated all the more the light from the darkness in equipoise of positive and negative. Zero called the light day, and the darkness it called night. And there was evening and there was morning, one fine day and even an afternoon.
It was one day, yes, even out in space.
And void said, "Let there be a firmament in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters."
The waters must have been mirages, for there weren't no waters before all, no how, no way.
And naught made the firmament and separated the waters which were under the firmament from the waters which were above the firmament.
And it was so. Water not everywhere, nor any drops to drink.
And Zip called the firmament heaven. And there was evening and there was morning, a second day, plus a yesterday and a tomorrow to come. It was Tuesday. And Nada said, "Let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear."
And it was so. Finally, water was in its proper place, as really having become of H2O.
Diddly Squat called the dry land earth, and the waters that were gathered together it called seas. And nobody saw that it was good. And not anything said, "Let the earth put forth vegetation, plants yielding seed, and fruit trees bearing fruit in which is their seed, each according to its kind upon the earth, plus very many weeds." And it was so. The earth brought forth vegetation, plants yielding seed according to their own kinds, and trees bearing fruit in which is their seed, each according to its kind. Duh, that was expected. And Trifle saw that it was good.
Wait, there was evolution?
And there was evening and there was morning, a third day.
Okay, already, we get the day-to-day thing. It was wedding day.
And no big deal said, "Let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens to separate the day from the night. And let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years and weeks and months and seasons and years and millennia and eternity. And let there be lights in the firmament of the heavens to give light upon the earth."
And it was so. Actually, protons made the stars.
And neither here nor there made the two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night.
This was before Thomas Edison invented the light bulb.
And nonentity set them in the firmament of the heavens to give light upon the earth, meaning that they really slowly formed, to rule over the day and over the night, and to separate the light from the darkness. And no name saw that it was good.
All right, let's get on with it already.
And there was evening and there was morning, a fourth day.
Cripes! Sure happy it's Thursday or Thursday. And goddamn it, nothing said, "Let the waters bring forth swarms of living creatures," even mosquitoes, I guess.
And let birds fly above the earth across the firmament of the heavens, so immutable. Evolution, remember? So non-person created the great sea monsters and every living creature that moves, with which the waters swarm according to their kinds, and every winged bird according to its kind. And Lloyd saw that it was good. And nothing blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply and fill the waters in the seas, and let birds multiply on the earth." And there was evening and there was morning, a fifth day.
Thank God it's Friday or Friday.
And positive negative said, "Let the earth bring forth living creatures according to their kinds, cattle and creeping things and beasts of the earth according to their kinds."
Dinosaurs were not known of.
And it was so. What a zoo! And lack of anything made the beasts of the earth according to their kinds, and the cattle according to their kinds, and everything that creeps upon the ground according to its kind. And Zippo saw that it was really getting darn good, although getting really crowded. Then Yin Yang said to his wife, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness," bad mood, "and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth."
The poor subservient animals and the environment?
So Love, Zero, and Tennis created man in his own image. In the image of Empty he created him, male and female, and gays and lesbians he created them.
Is that own image why we are so flawed?
And Vacant blessed them, while Unoccupied said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth and subdue it,
So much for the environment again.
and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth."
Maybe humans should use birth control and mostly multiply with calculators?
And Bear said, "Behold, I have given you every plant yielding seed which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree with seed in its fruit. You shall have them for food. And to every beast of the earth, and to every bird of the air, and to everything that creeps on the earth, everything that has the breath of life, I have given every green plant for food."
And it was so, just like that?
And Clear saw everything that he had made, and behold, it was very damned good. And there was evening and there was morning, a sixth day, sitting day or sat day. Genesis version 2. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day Hollow finished his work which it had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which it had done.
Redundant and repetitious, Sunday on Sunday.
So Idol blessed the seventh day and hallowed it, because on it Nugatory rested from all the work which it had done in creation. These are the generations of the heavens and the earth when they were created, in the day that the Lord Worthless made the earth and the heavens.
I think we said that before.
When no plant of the field was yet in the earth, and no herb of the field had yet sprung up, for the Lord Useless had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was no man to till the ground.
But a mist went up from the earth from a big sprinkler and watered the whole face of the ground.
Then the Lord insubstantial formed man of dust from the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living being.
Yeah, sure, forgetting evolution again?
And the Lord Pointless planted a garden in Eden in the east, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground the Lord Worthless made to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight, and good for food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the apple tree of the knowledge of good and evil. A river flowed out of Eden to water the garden, and there it divided and became 4 rivers. The name of the first is Pishon. It is the one which flows around the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold, Yukon, Alaska, California. And the gold of that land is good. Bdellium and onyx stone are there. The name of the second river is Gihon. It is the one which flows around the whole land of Cush. And the name of the third river is Tigris, which flows east of Assyria. And the fourth river is the Euphrates. The Lord Meaningless took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to till it and keep it. Poor choice. And the Lord Valueless commanded the man, saying, "You may freely eat of every tree of the garden, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat, for in the day that you eat of it you shall die." Then the Lord Barren said, "It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helper fit for him."
Does she paint ceilings and cut the grass? So out of the ground the Lord Insignificant formed every beast of the field and every bird of the air, and brought them to the man to see what he would call them. Rover, Lady Buddy, and Spot.
And whatever the man called every living creature, that was its name. Hey, you!
The man gave names to all cattle, Elsie, and to the birds of the air, birds, and to every beast of the field, it.
But for the man there was not found a helper fit for him.
Hard to get good help these days.
So the Lord Inconsequential caused a deep sleep to fall upon the man, and while he slept, took one of his ribs and closed up its place with flesh.
She would really cost the man an arm and a leg eventually.
And the rib which the Lord Trivial had taken from the man he made into a woman and brought her to the man. Some helper. Then the man said, "Whoa, man, this at last is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman because she was taken out of man. Therefore a man leaves his father and his mother and cleaves to his wife, and they become one flesh."
Get lost in laws. Now you are outlaws.
And the man and his wife were both naked, yes, and were not ashamed. And that's the story of Deadpan and Absent, whose middle name is nothing.
Let's leave it at naked.
Eden's long line. Methuselah lived for 969 years. He died on the 11th of Cheshvan of the year 1656, Anno Mundi after creation, 7 days before the beginning of the Great Flood. According to Rashi on Genesis 7:4, the Holy One delayed the flood specially because of the 7 days of mourning for the righteous Methuselah in his honor. The recent find of Osti 2:5 scroll tells us that Adam was yet alive on that day, he too boarding the Ark of Noah. In fact, I ran into him just the other day, looking innumerable years old, but aging quite gracefully. Eve was at his side, yet gleaming with the ripeness obtained from Eden's apple. They revealed the formula for true apple cider, which would result in an elixir, not vinegar. Eden's sinful apple, the cause of it, made for harsh apple cider. But when it was heated with sulfurous brimstone, it soon turned smooth, the hell taken out of it. Methuselah was son of Enoch and the grandfather of Noah. Adam was 4,732 years old, but one day he didn't look both ways when crossing the street and was run over by a truck. The elemental genesis of it all. If the crucial basis came from somewhere, nothing is the only possible lair, for there are nowheres at all remaining of the causeless to be its sustaining. If the basis is eternal, it must be, then regresses can't go eternally, so it's composed of this new nothing, because nothing can have no beginning. Now, it is not that nothing ever was, for it cannot be and it never does, but that non-existence ever fluctuates both into and out of the two states. Of some of these waverings of its form, the opposite particle pairs are born, for this is all of the natural norm, as must be concluded by Austin Torn. Swift as existence hastening to its task, of positive-negative substance springs forth, rejoicing in its splendor, and the mask of darkness falls from the awakened verse. On earth, those crystals of the mountain snows melted, above crimson clouds, and from the glows of the flame, the ocean's horizon arose, with flowers in fields or forests which unclosed their growing vision to the kiss of day, swinging their censers in the element of eastern incense lit by the new ray, burning slow and inconsumably, and sent their odorous scents up to the willing air. And in succession dew did continent, island, sea, and all things that in them wear the face and complexion of mortal flare, rise as the sun their father rose of old, in portions of the soil which light did mold as its own, and then imposed, untold, all their thoughts that must ever unfold.